Hey everybody, Brian Heiss from Olson Motorsports, and today we're going to discuss the differences between the RS Pro and the RS Pro 3. Now, both dampers share the same exact piston rod assembly, so we don't have that out. The only difference is in the canister, and it's small mechanically, but it makes a pretty huge change to the car and the way it feels, so let's dive into it. Here you have your standard RS Pro canister, tried and true, and here is your standard RS Pro 3 canister. So they're about the same height, same gas volume. The valve head's a little taller because we've got to accommodate some different things. Inside, we have our compression assembly, as we went through in a different video with the RS Pro. This is our main compression valve, just a little disc washer. That guy's got a tiny bit of rust on it because it sat in a drawer. Naturally, if we put that in your damper, we go ahead and polish it and make it perfect and surface it. And this is your standard three-way valve assembly. So here, this little washer above those two sets of Belleville springs is doing the same job as that blow-off valve. The difference is there, you've got a little bypass hole and it comes out the bottom right there. So instead of all of the oil when it comes into this reservoir having to go ahead and open up this valve, you can allow a little bit past with this low speed adjustment. And what that does, when you rotate this shaft, it changes the size of the hole that the bypass is. So you can either have it completely blocked off, making it exactly like an RS Pro, or you can select different size bypasses to change the amount of oil that goes through that before the valve goes ahead and opens. On the shock dyno, what that'll look like is if we have this being our compression force and this being our damper velocity, a standard RS Pro will build up some pressure and then the valve will open. And when you adjust the preload of these Belleville springs, you simply change at what point this valve opens. When you add in the RS Pro 3, we change at any one of these given points the velocity at which the valve opens, which we call a low speed adjustment. And this might be, you know, somewhere between 0 to 4 inches per second, and then the valve is open. So what that does for you in a car is when you're rolling or pitching, the wheels are typically moving the shocks at these velocities, so you can change how the car feels here without disturbing what it does out here in the higher velocity ranges, which is what's going to impact, you know, bumps and curbs and general kind of ride. And that is what you do on the racetrack. Now, on the street, what ends up happening is, you know, you might hit some really sharp bumps like this, so your damper velocity will spike up and you'll be handling it with all of this. But on a highway, which a lot of street cars see from time to time, you might hit some really light bumps. And this is what might be the profile, for example, of a concrete highway with a little ripple every, you know, 10, 15 feet, 20 feet, something like this. So what the RS Pro 3 does in terms of ride is, instead of building up a lot of pressure on these little bumps, like an RS Pro might, it's got to build up pressure and then open, and then you end up riding around on the tire. You ride around here on an RS Pro 3, and it's a lot smoother. So for customers that want to put this, you know, get a start at RS Pros for their DE, for their track car that they're still taking out on the road, the Pro 3 is actually a pretty nice upgrade for the road as well as the track. We have a couple detailed articles on our tech blog. Go to olsonmotorsports.net/tech blog for that, or you can navigate there from the main page. And if you have further questions, we're happy to answer them on our next video or live Q&A. So put those in the comments and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching.